Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to take deep dive into modern RP or contemporary RP, which is commonly known as received pronunciation. It's a approachable version of what traditionally known as a Queen's English. It's also less posh and it's quite formal compared to an old RP, but it still retains that iconic sophistication and clarity that makes British English stand out. Whether you are an actor perfecting your craft or non-native speaker is striving for clarity, you are kind of trying to build confidence, or just someone who fascinates by learning accents. In this video, I'll break it down for you and we will explore the key sounds that define the modern RP, like those vowels and consonants. We will also touch the rhythm and also intonations along the way and its rest patterns. I think what's is important in terms of mastering or perfecting any type of pronunciation is the vowels, okay? The vowels, but in today's video I'll guide you through lots of different exercises and to follow along with, like, to start transforming your pronunciation and to sound more natural. But don't worry, because in this video, I mean, this isn't just about imitating or faking it, about learning. It's all about learning, and I think the building blocks to truly embody the accent. So whether your goal is to sound like a BBC presenter, for example, boost your confidence, or kind of speak more clear, like to speak more obvious, or simply to impress your friends with a new skill, stick around. Today's video, I'll take you through lots of different sounds, strategies, intonations, patterns, and all that things. But yeah, let's get it started. Well, now these are frequently asked questions about received pronunciation. A lot of people, they might ask, is received pronunciation posh? To be honest, received pronunciation is often regarded as posh accent, but this does not mean that everyone who speaks with an RP accent is posh, or he's considered as a posh person, or that very posh person is speaking with an RP accent. And the second question I've come across quite a lot is that why is it received pronunciation? It's called received pronunciation as it refers to a standard British accent or standard British pronunciation. And the third question I've come across is, does received pronunciation still exist? So now, to be honest, there are three received pronunciation are both in the UK and around the world. You will hear a lot of people, they speak the modern RP pronunciation, and around the world, it's not only in the UK. You might find someone from Middle East, from China, from whatever country they are from, and they speak with the received pronunciation because it's the accent where it's considered as standard British English. It's not only specified in a certain country. Let's say in the UK, received pronunciation is mostly spoken in South, East London, or East England. What are the three forms of received pronunciation? So now, to be honest, there are three types of received pronunciation: conservative RP, mainstream RP, and contemporary RP. Received pronunciation, also known as RP, which is a British accent, regarded as the standard British accent. RP is most spoken in London, South East of England, but it's also the accent where the most commonly used informal education, teaching in the media. Let's say, for example, BBC presenters. For example, you can't speak with a Cockney accent or London accent, like I mean, what the point I'm trying to make is that received pronunciation, this is a standard form of English where the accent, well, a lot of people, they might find it in BBC news or social media. A lot of people that have presented in the media would probably say there's around like 2% of people in the UK who speak with a PRP accent. The three different types of RP: traditional and mainstream, and also contemporary RP. So now received pronunciation is also known as RP, as I mentioned earlier, and this is the accent known as the standard British accent. It is spoken mostly in south of England, southeast of England, but also the accent most often used in the formal education and such as news, like broadcasts. It's also used for phonetic transcription, as I mentioned earlier, dictionaries, and education. So now, received pronunciation, which is a modern RP, is only the accent that is not limited in the UK. For example, now, regardless is one of the most UK accents. And I think I mentioned earlier, it's not only specific in the UK. You find someone from China, from whatever country they are from, and they speak with the RP accent. Because it's used in education, students who attend this international schools, that British English curriculum, where they attended traditional schools or universities, a lot of people, they might come speak with the RP accent. Additionally, RP is not the main accent that to teach in English. Foreign, like, it's only the main accent where you can teach the foreign student. For example, if you talk to a person and you speak with a Cockney accent, and that person can't not understand what are you talking about, but if you teach them with an RP accent, they might get their head around what are you talking about. So the point I'm trying to make is RP is only the accent where you can teach other people, foreigners, those who they haven't been spoken English for a very long time, or those who they haven't taught English before. Although RP is considered as a standard British accent and is used around the world, okay? In the UK, lots of different places, not the native English speakers who speak within pure RP accent only. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's estimated to 2% of population in the UK, they speak with this accent. I don't know, I'm not quite sure, but I would say 2%. The more commons, like to have hence other regional accents as opposites of the PRP. An RP accent is non-rhoticity. Like most other accents in the UK, they are non-rhotic, which means the non-rhotic is the letter R is completely silent when it comes in the middle, or at the beginning, or at the end of a word. You can drop it when it comes after the vowel. Father, father, and car, car, butter, butter, better, better, farm, farm. So now, if you've noticed here, all these, like, you don't pronounce the letter R when it comes after the vowel sounds. So in comparison to the words that transcriptions or transcribed in American English, you might hear father, father, car, farm. I don't know, but I think that's how Americans, they tend to pronounce the letter R. So now the difference between RP, or British pronunciation, and American pronunciation is that the letter R is silent. In American English, the letter R is not silent. And also we have noticed that there's is no R in RP phonetic transcriptions, as it's not pronounced. However, in South American English, it's rhotic, so the R always pronounced no matter where is in the word is pronounced. So do be aware of that. If you want to master British English, of course, you need to master your R's first. And what about the longer vowel sounds? A longer vowel sounds in British English. So now the RP uses the long R sound, okay? For example, we have in words like grass, grass, bath, bath, fast, fast, can't, can't. The long vowel R is used like in many different situations. Father as well, okay? As we mentioned earlier in the letter R. So father, fast, bath, grass. So in comparison, here is the same word described in Standard American English is more likely to find they tend to pronounce it in the short R sound, okay? So that on the RP, I think is most important. It like to focus on your vowels first before you master your consonants is very important. So now we have the short vowels. So now the short vowels in RP, the short sounds are pronounced quickly and without glide. Unlike a longer vowels, diphthongs, short vowels, shorten duration and tend to have more consistent sounds in modern RP. There are 6 primary short we have got in a words sounds in a words like kit or bit. It sounds in a words like dress or met. A sound in a words like trap and cat, okay? And also we have sounds in a words like is to rut, cop, okay? And we have got the words sounds, sound. So this is the short vowels in a words like hot, pot, not. An O sound, we have got like the round shape where you tend to say food, put is like the round shape, okay? So now we've covered the longer vowel and short vowel. So now what about, have you ever heard about diphthongs? A diphthongs is when you combine 2 vowels together and they become one vowel sound. In modern RP pronunciation, diphthongs are the key feature that gives the accent a smooth following quality. For example, now we have the O sounds. O sound, and O sounds. Like we have the sound, which is the very relaxed sound, and O sound. O. So now we combine 2 short vowels, schwa sound and O sound together, and it becomes in a words like goat, goat, course, course, goat, goat is a round shape, or no, no, no. So it's all the time important to make sure that you put a lot of effort in more detail about your vowels and diphthongs and all that sounds, because I think it's very important and it will make you sound more British. As I mentioned earlier, now diphthongs, so now we have the sound, which is the schwa sound, the natural sound, and also the O sound is important. Examples of how these diphthongs works in British English, it's just important that you practice all of the time to practice your muscles, okay? So goat, goat, home, home, no, no, is slow, close, close. So those are the example sentences, and I think it's important that you practice your muscles to get comfortable and hopefully you'll be able to practice all of them together. And now we're talking about the linking R. So now if you haven't heard about linking R, a linking R is a sound, is also the feature of modern RP where you're adding the R sound. If the word ends with an R sound and followed by a vowel sound, for example, four eyes, okay? Four and ice becomes four eyes. More apples. I mean, if you want to sound more like a native, you can either say more apples or more apples. If you have noticed, I do pronounce the letter R in the middle of apple and more, which is a more apples and four rice. Our age becomes RH. Well, this is called connected speech, and if you don't know all about it, I did a video about it. I will link it in the description below. You'll find it, and please do make sure that you watch the video, and hopefully will help you to practice your linking R and intrusive R. And the intrusive R is sometimes the RP feature as well, when you insert the letter R sounds in words that do not include an R sound in the spelling. Now this is known as intrusive R, and it usually occurs when a syllable of a word or syllable that ends with a word and sounds are followed by a syllable that starts with a vowel sound, and a word that ends with a vowel sound and is followed by a word that starts with a vowel sound. In order to jump from a vowel to another, it's easier to insert the letter R when you're speaking. Think about it like that. It's tapping its tone between two vowels sounds. For example, instead of saying I saw a dog, if you want to sound more like a native, you want to say I saw a dog. So now if you've noticed, I've inserted the letter R in terms of my pronunciation. I saw a dog. And law and order, you might say law and order. And I think it's very important. Trick is sounds to master, and of course it's most sophisticated sounds. And if you want to sound a little bit more like a native, of course you need to practice, you need to master these sounds, and hopefully you will sound more like a native. And another sound which is the feature in modern RP is the hard T. So now the RP accent tend to clearly pronounce the letter T in the middle of a word, which is known as the hard T or a true T. So now, for example, in words like butter, okay, in words like batter, and water, better, these are clearly pronounced, and I think it's very important that you pronounce the letter T quite importantly. This is different from the standard American English or American accent, in which you are trapped the letter R in the middle of a word. This means that when they are pronounced, the tongue quickly tips behind the teeth, and this creates softer sound that is more like a D sound. Like American might say butter, water, and British might say water, butter, better. So written it sounds more like a butter, like a water. I don't know, but American more tend to insert the letter D instead of letter T. So that's the most important difference to understand. And so now type of pronunciations, I think like other accents, there are different variations, there are different varieties of RP. There are, as I mentioned earlier, conservative RP, a mainstream RP, and contemporary RP. There are various of RP, known specifically, meaning that the accent doesn't necessarily give us the information about the geographical location of how or what way the native speaker. However, the different RP accents tell us that sometimes about the age, social class, and even, for example, older generation in the UK now is more likely to speak with a conservative RP, whereas a younger people may speak with a contemporary RP. So now conservative RP is the most traditional and well-established variety of received pronunciation. It's typically spoken by the older generation and is traditionally associated with those who are the upper classes and those in the government. If you've ever seen the old British TV shows, this is probably the type of RP it was used. Is rarely used in like TV shows nowadays in modern times. And the mainstream RP, this is known as the general RP, and it's quite neutral. I mean, meaning that it does not give us the way about the speaker age and the job or social class. This is the variety of RP as well. Most people are familiar with it, and you'll probably hear it in the media as well, such as news and TV shows and all of those things, all of those places. However, contemporary RP, which you were talking about, is also known as a modern RP, and is mainly spoken by younger people. I mean, such as the teenagers and the younger adults. Because of this, more colloquial terms may be used. I mean, like, it shares some similarities with, Eastern English, which is an accent that sits somewhere between RP and Cockney. If you haven't heard about Eastern English, this is an accent where it's located, I would say, somewhere between RP and Cockney accent. It's spoken quite a lot in London. If you've asked me what's the difference between received pronunciation and posh accent, received pronunciation is often regarded as posh as well, as we mentioned earlier, and it's referred to the accent, but posh is more than describe the person, lifestyle, and often associated with the higher classes. And there you have it. If you just like want to learn any type of pronunciation, I think it's important that you know the difference, and then please make sure that you identify what accent you want to learn. And I think that's all about it. You've just taken the first step. If you want to transform your modern RP pronunciation, it's not that easy, but you have to identify what accent you want to learn. This isn't easy, but you need to put a lot of effort. And remember, accents are more than just how we sound. The tool and the clear communication, clarity, and confidence. Because if you're looking for confidence and self-expression, whether you're working on these acting, public speaking, or simply to connect with others and how the people can understand you, that's a very exciting journey to take it. But every effort you put, it will take you closer to your goal, and it takes time. So, and that's it. Keep in mind, an accent takes time and consistency, and don't discourage yourself, and you will get there. And focus on progress, not perfection. And that's it. That's it for today. If you like what you saw today, you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Any questions, any recommendations, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers everyone, take care, bye bye.